Welcome everybody to playoffs day 4 of the Dota 2 Asia Championships, brought to you by The Score Esports. I'm Gods from Beyond the Summit. Joining me is the Dota Cinema fellas, Suns fan, Cinderin. How are we today? Surviving?
Something like that. We just woke up, as did everybody else in the house, and
Yeah.
Slightly
Maybe
tired.
some,
These are some long days.
yeah. But this is I think this is going to be the second shortest day,
Yeah.
and then tomorrow should be the shortest.
I mean, to give some context, a lot of viewers out there just maybe picking and choosing what they want. Our day starts at 6 p.m. It ends around 10:30 a.m. Then obviously when you get food, you got to unwind, and then you're back here 6 hours later. So it's been brutal, but we've survived. We've had some great Dota to kind of keep us company. And
Yeah, I think that's if it was terrible Dota, I'd be miserable, right? But yesterday was a pretty awesome day of Dota overall, I have
Yeah.
to say.
yeah, yesterday especially, some amazing series, some absolute crackers. We've had some great storylines here. Kind of to go over those storylines, we'll take a look at the bracket. To me, the biggest one was Brave and how far they came, what they did for SEA Dota. The big upset against Invictus Gaming and coming so close to taking down Big God as well. This was a team that won over a lot of hearts and just really convinced a lot of people that they're the real deal. When coming into the tournament, they may have not have even heard of them.
I'm hoping they can sustain it in the future, though. I'm hoping it's not like a one-hit wonder as far as placement in tournaments, because they did way better than a lot of people
Yeah.
thought, like you said.
And the prize money for them, I mean, after considering they're based in Southeast Asia, playing out of South Korea, this is a team who, even just finishing that 5th, 6th spot where they're getting like $150,000, that's a huge amount of money for this team. That's life-changing for them and will actually help support them for future tournaments. And speaking of the prize money, it's reached $3 million. It's officially $3 million plus total prize pool. The Dota 2 Asia Championships is massive. That's what these teams are competing for today. Whew.
Yeah. What other stories can we highlight? I think maybe as far as happy stories, I guess you could say. I want to say Cloud9 getting 5th, 6th was also a positive surprise based on their beginning in the tournament. The games yesterday, I think they're going to be disappointed. I think fans are going to be disappointed they did beat Secret and maybe have a shot at even finishing in the top 3 or maybe in the grand finals.
Yeah.
But all in all, with how these teams are coming in and how uncertain people were, I think both Cloud9, EG, and Team Secret have been doing a great job and had a good run in this tournament. Of course, 2 of them still in it. Secret and EG. EG will be playing in the game that starts very soon, the Winners Bracket Finals. And in addition to that, Big God, for me, have been a very pleasant surprise, too. It goes to show how far you can get if you have a skilled group of players that get together. They said going in that they were playing for fun and that they hadn't practiced so much, but at the end of the day, the competitive spirit takes over when you actually see you have a shot at it. And
Yeah.
they pick heroes that they're comfortable with. They have extremely experienced players, apart from Ice Ice, who's like the odd one out, given a shot in the team, but even he has looked extremely solid the whole tournament. So
He's been one of their more
Very
consistent
impressive.
players in
Yeah.
some ways. So 4 teams remain. Big God going to be taking on Team Secret in the lower bracket, and then Evil Genius vs Vici Gaming, our first best of 3 in the upper bracket. Start of the playoffs, we go back to like let's say day 1 or even like middle towards the end of the group stage. We're always highlighting 2 teams as your big favorites: Vici Gaming and Team Secret. These were the teams to beat. These were the teams who were just looking the most impressive. Obviously, Secret now in the lower bracket. They got knocked down there by Vici Gaming. They also almost lost to Cloud9. Do you feel like it's coming into day 4, looking at the 4 teams remaining? Do you feel like it's a much more even playing field, or does it still feel like those are the 2 teams to beat?
After yesterday, I think Secret looks kind of vulnerable, to be honest. I mean, Cloud9 played well, don't get me wrong, but I never expected to go... Well, I did actually... That's a lie. I did expect to go 3 games because Cloud9 can be unpredictable, but it was way closer overall than I was expecting. What do
about
you think, Cinderwin?
I think of the remaining teams, oh man, it's really difficult to say because sure, Secret showed a little bit of weakness yesterday, but at the same time, they still showed strength in a different way than what we've seen in the rest of the tournament, where they've just, I mean, the group stage, they kind of, in many games, they just ran their opponents over. In some of the closer games, they won on decision making. And yesterday, you see them under a lot of pressure, they still make... Sure, it was a big mistake for Cloud9 not to have the TPs, but for Secret to make that snap call in the moment and actually win a game like that shows that even under extreme pressure, they can still take games. And that's a really big quality to have going into games against, for example, Big God. Well, all the remaining teams, honestly. So I really wouldn't count them out. I think it's completely unpredictable at this point. Vici Gaming, for me, probably the favorites overall. I think if you pick any team that stands out, it's them. Secret's standout performance in the group stage has been mitigated a little bit. So I
Yeah.
would say Vici Gaming here, and then I guess Secret EG here, and then Big God a little bit further down. I think that's reasonable. So
I think the really impressive thing about Secret, to me, that game 3 was their worst played game of the tournament, yet they still managed to win. Like, when you can win when you have an off game like that with a lead, because a lot of times you have a lead, it's not a very convincing lead, you have a complete off day, their decision making was not on point, like they tried to push a few times without buyback, without Aegis and Cheese, they got caught out a few times here or there, yet they still managed to win. End of the day, they got the job done, and that's where Team Secret can come into today, at least recognizing they know they can play better. The other thing is, I mean, they're showing some vulnerabilities against Cloud9. Some of that may be coming out from the draft and the picks they keep reusing. Do you feel like we're going to be seeing Secret kind of looking to reinvent themselves to some extent with today's picks? Obviously, I feel like they're going to still stick to what's been working for them with the opening picks, but are they going to be mixing stuff up to a larger, like, I mean, as far as the drafts go, because it seemed like Cloud9 had them figured out, Vici Gaming in the winner bracket. Do they need to change their picks and play style within the draft?
I don't know if you agree with this, actually. Zai is like the big wild card here. He picks the most random-ass heroes and does extremely well. And the question is the other 4, because they've been picking pretty consistent, like you're saying. So that's the big question. I'm not sure.
To me, Zai is just like the ice of the West. They're both very similar in play style.
Pretty much.
Zai, I'd say maybe a bit more conservative. Like Ice, I think a bit more aggressive in lane, but they both play a ton of heroes, get a lot done. But then, to me, the big comparison between these teams is looking at FY and Fenrir. They've been more consistent. Look at the yesterday and the loss to Vici Gaming. Puppy and Kuro, good, but like the Venge Silencer game, they didn't get anything done. They couldn't get anything done because of the nature of the draft.
Yeah. I want to say they should probably change a little bit, but not too much. So stick to their core. When they get put in a position, I would love to see Secret pull out any sort of surprise pick, honestly. I think so far, even when they got put under pressure by Cloud9, the drafts were still... There wasn't anything that creative coming from them. They still ran for some of the same stuff. They did, however, put Zion the Enigma off lane and run 2 supports together with that, which was interesting. That was the game they almost lost. It was getting really close, and then they just got a freebie, basically. But that game could have gone out of their hands as well. So I think you keep 3 or 4 of the heroes and the core that they've built so far, and then maybe you exchange that last pick for something unpredictable that could give you an edge. I don't think they're going to need that against Big God. I think if they just play their core and they play their best, they are still the favorites and should win. But against EG or Vici, they might need a little bit of creativity to get through that.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Big God, let's talk about this first match. The draft just about to get underway here. We've seen Big God most of the tournament stick to these kind of 4 protect ones, a lot of burning Medusa, putting on these hard carries. But yesterday, when push came to shove, they need some wins. They mixed things up. They ran more aggressive style. They ran a 15-minute push strat, one of the most well-executed kind of games we've seen at the tournament. What are they going to need to beat Team Secret? Are they going to have to keep mixing things up, or can they kind of go back to that burning Medusa style?
I think their early aggression is their best card, honestly, against Secret. Secret has a tendency to, in some games, if you can prevent them from getting their jungler that gets a lot done early on, sometimes they will draft themselves into, for example, your Venge Silencer game where they have 2 supports that need levels but don't necessarily get them and are terrible at defending lanes. It's not certain that if Secret see that opening, they might not go for the same kind of draft. Granted, they could just get some other supports that defend better, but I would say the early aggression is would be really good, at least for one of the 3 games. If they can get a win off that and then you're just 1 game off, that'll be a good start.
All right. Well, Big God versus Secret. We're going to hop in the draft. Right before we do, predictions, Shannon. What do you think for the outcome of this series?
Let's see. Let's look at the quick band picks. This is Vici versus EG.
Oh, Vici. What am I talking about? It's
I was
early.
Well, we had
we're talking about Secret Big God. Let's just transfer that analysis to 3 hours from now.
Well, what are you asking about?
Yeah, predictions. Vici EG. What's your predictions here? We're gonna just
I
go
think
to
Vici's are the favorites here.
All right, and Sinrin, we've just given your breakdown of the series, which we're not going into. Give me your 30-second spark. Vici versus EG. What's the key points here?
EG will try to play, I think, controlled push, so they will try to have an early game that they freeze as much as possible without finding too many kills. They will focus on hitting a timing window, and then they'll go. Classic EG draft will involve some sort of defensive support for PPD, a solid core for both, 3 solid cores for Universe, Sumail, and Fear, and then I'm thinking something like a Luna together with maybe a Treant, a Baden, Dazzle, anything like that, and then 20 to 25 minutes in, Sumail comes online, Fear has his core items, Universe has a Blink and 1 more utility item maybe, and then you go for that big play, Roche, Towers, and end the game. Like we saw yesterday.
Yep.
Or
All right.
the day before.
We're going to hop ourselves into the draft and see what these two teams have in store for us. Game 1 of Vici Gaming versus Evil Geniuses. Your winner bracket final has begun. And the draft looks like this.
And one more point I want to... Or, that's not really a point, but a prediction. I think Vici Gaming will win this. I'm going to say 2-0, actually.
Okay.
I do consider them not far ahead of the other teams, but they have this edge that I think EG are going to have to both draft very well and perform the draft perfectly, if not at least 90 to 95% of its potential. Any sort of mistakes, and I think Vici is going to run with it. And they get a dream opener for them, I would say. They get their Batrider for Ice and the Sniper. This is similar to what they had against Secret in the most convincing win against the top team in the whole tournament.
Yeah, Batrider has been one of the most successful heroes of the tournament, kind of top ban, top priority for most teams, and bit of a risk giving away. Obviously, PPD, I feel like, as far as talking about having to have a draft really well and execute it to 90-95% perfection, he's going to have something prepared. He was willing. I always feel like with a draft like PPD, a Puppy, or whoever it may be, less so than someone like maybe FY on the other side, he's going to come into this and have pretty much the entire draft mapped out as to how he thinks it's going to go. He's willing to give up the first pick Batrider, probably had this line Abaddon opener planned already, and probably already has core heroes in mind for Fear, for Sumail, that they want to get their hands on, recognizing that quite likely the Storm, the SF are going to be banned out. I mean, he banned the SF himself, so we'll see what those core heroes are going to be, because I imagine FY is much more like that kind of reactionary drafter that waits to see what's available and maybe has less of like a full game plan going into the draft.
Still waiting for this Lina Sumail. He needs to prove to me that it's viable.
Okay.
But it's probably not going to be picked up. He's played Brewmaster, he's played Invoker, obviously you talked about Shadow Fiend and the Storm. Who else has he played?
Queen of Pain.
Off the top of your head.
She's
Queen of
banned out
Pain's
too.
banned
Yeah.
as well. And he
he played one game of Puck, I believe.
Did you mention Invoker?
Yeah.
You might
Yeah.
I don't remember the Puck game.
Yeah, he did play Puck once. I think
Back
they
in the
lost
group
that
stage,
game.
yeah.
They lost that game. This is a kind of tricky situation, because the problem is no matter what core you pick for Sumail now, it kind of, in a way, it needs some sort of mobility, because else it's just going to get either that, or it needs to have mobility or be a ranged hero, so that they can keep it close to Abaddon. Abaddon doesn't want to walk into the middle of everything together with the melee core, so they need to make sure that they have him in position to get shielded against the Batrider, or that he can hold his own and move around so he can access the Sniper in the fights, so he can maybe avoid even getting lassoed in the first place. I'm going to grab Lycan, though, as the first off. I do not think this is for Sumail. I think it's safe lane for Fear, and they're trying to get a little bit more intel before they decide for the mid laner.
I like the sniper pick, the Lycan pick in general. Just having the wolves as a scouting tool is one of those kind of secondary benefits. Really useful against a Batrider. Makes those smokes much more precious for the Vici Gaming team, and makes it a bit harder. You can see Sumail here. I'm wondering.
He's very happy with whatever's being decided. How is Axe still on the table? What is going on right now?
That's true.
Especially against a Lycan. I can't remember the last time we've seen him go past the first stage of banned picks.
Vici versus Secret. I think the same thing happened in one of the games.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Pretty
Vici
sure.
Gaming themselves do not run much Axe. Generally, it's not their go-to offlaner, so it wouldn't be something completely unheard of. Black's played it once or twice as a safe lane farmer. I think Ice has maybe played it once that I can recall in the group stage, but
He prefers his Tide.
yeah, prefers his Tide, his Batrider, his Juggernaut. He generally goes a different direction. For EG, have we seen Universe on Axe really? It feels like EG it doesn't suit their kind of push style.
I think
as
Universe
much.
has played Axe.
He's played it at least twice, I would
Okay.
say. It could be more. I think it's a really good pick for Vici, though. They're going to get Skywrath Mage, though. I think this is mainly targeted at the Abaddon. Get a single target silence so that they can lock down the hero Batrider catches. I would consider an alternative they could have gone for here would have been the Silencer, which I think is more reliable, since position is... and he's completely... he's independent on positioning for the ultimate, but... Wow, okay. Nature's Prophet.
It's turning into a push now.
This is EG push. Vici Gaming don't really have that good defense. They have Shrapnel and Firefly, which is pretty good, but not really what you're looking for against a hard push lineup like this. I think Axe is getting even better now, honestly. And what I was thinking for Vici Gaming, Black actually plays a really good Axe.
Yeah.
And they could safe lane that since they have Super Sniper mid. It helps them a lot with their defense because they get a secondary initiation tool apart from Batrider, and Culling Blade cuts through a Photic Shield. So you don't even care if the enemy gets a Photic Shielded when they're low, you just dunk them.
Good in general against Lycan. Nature's Prophet, it's a good kind of way to pick it off. So EG's sticking with like EG style drafts. I know just talking with WinteR, he always talks about when they're on the Radiant side, they go heavy push. When the Dire side, they pick much more like farm oriented lineups, try and play more for the late game. So Vici Gaming going to get their secondary support in the Earthshaker here. And we'll see what he has.
God. I had to look away every time.
The look.
Why would you do such a thing? I said, why?
It's going Super Saiyan.
It's like it's the 90s again. Maybe that's not such a bad thing, I guess.
Back in my day.
Back in my day.
Well, they have counter push with ES now.
Vici Gaming definitely cannot get greedy with whatever this last pick is. Yeah. Axe gets banned out. The Centaur is the other one which fills a similar role, which they also sometimes run in the safe lane, so not quite as hard of a counter to heroes like Lycan and Abaddon, but
I don't know, Vici Gaming's line is pretty good. If Earthshake can get a decent time blink, Sniper just sits in the back, Shrapnel's obviously amazing against push, Batrider just picks somebody off relatively easily.
Yeah.
And right now they only have a stun in Lion. That's literally it.
What do you consider like a decently timed blink? Because I always feel like the push from EG is going to come before that blink timing.
Oh, Tinker, good ban. We didn't talk about that. Sorry to interrupt, but that was another hero Sumail played, and that could have been really good here.
The Tinker push strat, do you know a thing or two about them?
Yeah, they're really good. Although you could argue that Vici Gaming have decent Tinker counters in Shrapnel, in Batrider to find him, but when it comes to the timing pushes, then, like you said, you just drop a couple of marches in the middle of the fight and you siege in, and Vici Gaming don't want to initiate into that, so they ban that out. It's also a way of forcing Sumail onto another hero, and he's probably going to play one-on-one against Sniper. Now I forgot what the question was before that for Shannon, I'm sorry. But
I think he answered it. I was asking about the Earthshaker blink, because it feels like the push is going to come before like an Earthshaker blink is maybe up, unless they give Earthshaker a lot of farm.
That would be great to see. Core Shaker for the win.
They could do that, that's true. They might be considering it. I don't know if Black plays that. Whoa, okay. That took a different direction. This is another hero Sumail plays.
Okay.
We've also seen Zeus from him, I want to say twice at least.
Okay.
Well, you can burst down Skywrath and don't have to worry about him too. I mean, that's like...
Doesn't fit their strategy perfectly, though, I would say.
It doesn't feel like there was a mid hero that was going to fit their strategy perfectly and also lane well. I think ultimately they wanted...
Lina.
Does Lina push? You just max that passive?
It's not terrible.
1-1-4.
You push the waves pretty easily.
Okay.
Yeah, Zeus is... I don't know, I love Zeus, so I'm hoping it works out, honestly, but I don't know.
Also, maybe not wanting to put all their eggs in the one push basket here. It does give them some damage they'll maybe lacking. And last pick for Vici Gaming is going to be the Bristleback here.
That is actually really good. So, the idea of running the Bristleback as their final hero, this will be the safe laner for Black, by the way. They need something to... When EG are looking to siege towers, they need someone to go in front, because two things can happen. The first one is maybe Ice doesn't even have the blink yet when the tower pushes begin for EG. They could start at minute 5, basically, in the safe lane. They could transition into mid lane and push fast there, too. Now, with Bristle in the front lines, he's going to soak up spells, and there's no obvious initiation for Evil Geniuses apart from the Lion, who will not have a blink when they want to push. So the timing window there, it will be very difficult for them to bring down Black. I think Black in this game looks to get a Vanguard and a Cloak, and just stand in the front lines and tank up. And as long as EG can't push, they're going to, at some point, they're going to need to go high ground in this game. And I don't think they have the better late game. It's going to be very difficult come super late game. Sure, Lycan scales well, and Prophet can be a decent late gamer together with Zeus, but all in all, you're playing that into a Sniper Bristle late game with Batrider, one of the best late game utility heroes, and you might be in for a hard time. So, for me, this game is all about, can EG get the towers early enough? Because if they don't get full map control, if this game is even, I'm favoring VG past 30.
All right. Well, as far as the lanes go for EG, are there any big things we can expect out of them? I feel like the passive Abaddon support is going to kind of build into them, just playing things more slow-paced and defensively in the lanes. Is it going to be up to Vici Gaming to maybe find some early ganks and pickoffs using their supports, or are they happy just to get their farm on their core heroes?
I think they just need to find levels on the supports, and you can do that with ganks or you can do it with pulls. The thing about EG's lineup is that when it comes to the lanes, they can't really put that much pressure early on, so pulling should be very easily accessible for Vici. Skywrath and Shaker have a decent ganking duo. That's not necessarily going to be too bad, and when there's a Zeus in mid for the enemy team, should be easily be a target.
Having seen the draft, do you stick by your prediction, Shannon?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I would like to see Sumail pick up Ultra Mobility with 4-staff Blink, just so he can get into the fight and kill off the Sniper or Skywrath really fast, but Vici Gaming's much more consistent, I think.
The casters are ready to go. We've got LD and WinteR for game 1 of our first best of 3 EG versus Vici Gaming. Take it away, guys, before this first blood happens.
Two Fissure coming out. Gonna connect on 2 here as Black moves on to Sumail, being pursued out by this Bristleback. PPD the one trapped out in the river, though. FY on the chase. Super gonna lay into him. Another Shrapnel coming through. He just needs one more auto tech. That nuke gonna do him in. Vici Gaming, connect for your first blood. Oh my, a bloody beginning despite the strong defensive support pick. It's PPD who ends up going down, but they do at least save Sumail. Although it's almost worse, WinteR. He's got to walk all the way back to base. I almost feel in some ways you'd rather just die off the bat than this.
Yeah, it's just a big loss there for them, losing the support, and the solo mid player has to go back all the way back to base. And who actually got the bounty run? Did Vici get both? Yeah, Vici got both the bounty runs.
And the first blood. This is like a 600, 700 gold lead practically off the bat.
Oh, that is huge. And Fear is going to have a hard time in the first 2 waves as well. He's not going to be able to get much farm against the Bat Rider until the Lion actually arrives to support him.
All right, so we haven't had a chance to do proper team introductions. Let's do it quickly now. We're going to start here on the Radiant side. We've got PPD playing that support of Baden in the offlane. Universe on the offlane farmer. One of his go-to heroes will be the Nature's Prophet as Sumail does get caught out. He'll be your Zeus. And second, top lane. Looks like we might have more action here. Constantly laying into Universe with these nukes. But yeah, running through the rest of the EG draft on the safe lane, we're going to have the Lycan being played by Fear, already under heavy pressure from the Ice 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 Bat Rider. AUI 2000 will be playing your Lion. And of course, now introducing Vici Gaming. You've got Ice 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 on the Bat Rider, heading towards the mid lane. Will be Super on the Sniper, and now rotating will be FY on the Earthshaker. Already has made a lot happen with his strong Fissure. Svenrir, the support Skywrath, and that does leave Black on the Bristleback. But yeah, off the bat, WinteR, a disastrous start here for EG, giving up not only the first blood, but a second kill. The Zeus having to walk back to base, which is almost like dying in terms of missing that first creep wave, and then having to TP back into the lane. It's been a costly start for him. And then looking at the lanes, Ice 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 having a really easy time so far as the offlane Bat Rider. Here that he can make a lot happen with Boots and Bottle already complete. The Sniper mid off to a good start. Everything really going well here for Vici. It's early, but it's looking good for them so far.
He even picks up a bottle just so he can actually have more sustain in the lane against the Lycan and the Lion. Fear is going to have quite a hard time from this Bat Rider trying to get some farm.
The Fissure's block is on the wrong side. If it's on the right side there, Sumail gives up another kill, but he can hardly even enter the lane. He walks into the lane, he takes a Shrapnel, he starts getting auto-attacked, and he's lost half his health to just a headshot or two.
Yeah, this is what we saw Vici been doing time and time again. With the Sniper mid, they want to run a roaming support like Shaker.
Marana.
So they can get, mostly on the Shaker though, I see them do. Because you have a lot of killing potential, Fissure and the Shrapnel. A hero like Zeus is just going to have a hard time here.
It's something that EG knew coming into the match, was that Vici loved to play aggressive, they love to run these roaming supports, and they did pick the Abaddon. It's potentially something that could protect him, but not really against an Earthshaker. Against the Marana, the Abaddon would be very strong, but even if you manage to shield off that Fissure stun, you're still blocked, and you still have nowhere to go, so I don't even know if it would matter if PPD had a TP and used it to come in. Sometimes you just can't do anything against this. It's really the power of the roaming Earthshaker early on.
And the top lane as well, they are actually laning Prophet plus Abaddon. I don't see this lane actually being able to pressure the enemy carry, but bottom lane, Prophet's going to teleport in, Ice 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 is going to get pursued down, but he's going to run into the trees, gets hacks out.
Fear's going to have to walk all the way out from the Firefly. Won't die to this, but all three dropping extremely low.
Both of them do not have any regen left.
It's not quite as good as getting a kill, but one or two of these heroes are either going to have to go back to base or maybe even Fissure, mid lane, onto Sumail. Super looking to trap him out, but he turns with the nuke. Sumail going to go back in on this one. PPD coming in now, has the shield, the nuke's coming out, but the magic stick will keep Super safe. Sumail did not have mana for that next bolt. Was just about 3-4 mana short, but gets his bottle now. A timely rotation by PPD to discourage that chase.
And he's going for the build that Fata does as well. 2 points in the Arc Lightning, 1 point in the static field at level 3, and now he has one.
He's not going to be allowed to grab a rune though.
Oh.
They are doing a very good job of controlling these runes.
To go back to base, I think. Yeah, again, he goes... This is like the second time he...
I feel like EG are making... they've made more fountain trips in this first 5 minutes than most teams do in the first 10, 15. Hell, it's not even 5 minutes yet. Ice. Gonna dive AUI 2000 bottom lane. He also works his way onto Fear. Not going on to either. Worried about an Impale. These wolves hit quite hard. But the pressure is just constant from Vici, and now they're swinging in reinforcements. Fenrir arriving. He'll go into AUI 2000, not quite killing him off. Ice, stacking on the sticky napalm. Another nuke coming out. It's going to be close. He gets the kill. Oh, no. Another death here in the laning stage for EG. 3-1 the score, but they look for Fear now. The Flame Break coming in. It will hit, but it's only a level 1 Flame Break with no sticky napalm stacks just yet, so it doesn't really hit that hard. Relentless aggression from all points of the map. The only hero who hasn't been WinteR is the Bristleback for Black, and he's your lead farmer, 27 CS. They've now abandoned this top lane. Nobody laning against him.
They just lost all their lanes. And now Universe has been rotated towards the jungle to start catching up there. They need to probably park more heroes to just help the other lanes, the middle lane and the safe lane. Like Fear and Sumail are not having a good time in their lanes. Sumail has so far caught up nicely. He has 24 last hits to the 23 of the sniper, but counting the two fountain trips that he had.
The TP scrolls he had to buy.
Yeah, and look at the levels from Sniper and the Zeus. They may have similar last hits, but the level difference is just a lot.
He hasn't gotten any bounty runes. I believe Super got one of them earlier, and, well, he's already almost level 7 on that sniper mid. Assassinate, very good this game. You're up against the Abaddon, but he's not even close to level 6 yet. They're going to go on Sumail here once again. Concussive shot crashing in. Send the shrapnel begins to sack up. Sumail going down again. Sprout will be on Super, but he's got a Tango in reserve. He'll make his way out. They're not done yet. They're coming in from the side. Rotating forward will be your Bat Rider. They're going to dive the tier 1 tower mid. PPD might go down here as well. Assassinate going to finish him off. They look for Universe 2. It's 3 dead once more. What can EG do? They're getting pounded from all directions. 6-1 the score. And they've hardly even had a chance to get settled into this game.
Oh dear.
Well, Vici Gaming, they're known for being a very aggressive early game team. Can EG turn it around? They go in now with the Hex. Impale follow-up on the Super. Big kill. He's the most leveled hero in the game. And now the Zeus ulti comes out suddenly. They catch that Skywrath Mage fleeing back to base. That kill on the sniper gets them 2. Can they get a third here? Universe searching for it on Ice. Looking for the Sprout. And then body block from the summons. It's going to be close. He makes his way over the tree line. Barely able to retreat. But getting that kill on the sniper gets Sumail his level 6, which then gets him the second kill with the ulti. Very big turn of events here for EG. And suddenly, he's actually more leveled than the sniper.
He's actually... Nah, Sniper still has small levels. He's going to be level 8 soon, but he caught up a lot. Has 1k go after purchasing the Soul Ring with that 2 kills.
Okay, the graph was saying he was on top, but I guess he's not actually. We'll see the rotation now from EG. 3 heroes coming in towards bottom. FY trying to get a bit of farm, but there's no Fissure available. He's short on mana. Wolves scouting him out. They can't really go in. He's sitting quite far back here. And they don't have that easy initiation. Well, the game settles down a bit, but we still haven't seen the Bristleback get involved, and I'm curious to see what will Black be going for this game. He is, as the panel mentioned, their frontline tank against heavy burst damage from EG. He'll be the frontliner. What is our Bristleback going to be picking up as his first big item? Up to 1,000 gold. We often see that Vitality booster into a cloak. Something that just is cheap, cost-effective, lets you get into the front lines early. But they'll have to back off now. They want to get Ice's Blink Dagger. He's going to farm up some stacks in the jungle, and despite the pot start on these supports and the early rotations on mid, Ice still has about 3-4 minutes ahead of him before he gets the Blink.
And for EG, if you're looking at their heroes, I think they might actually want to try and group up as early as possible to avoid getting picked off by the Bat Rider. They don't really have anyone to initiate if the Lion doesn't have a Blink, so catching power-wise is not in particularly strong. I don't think they can actually try and kill the Bristleback without a Blink from the Lion early on. I'm not really sure. Maybe their plan is to just 5-man early with the Prophet summons and the Wolves from the Lycan to just avoid getting picked by the Bat Rider.
Mid. They're going to look to jump in on Sumail here. They have that haster, no Blink Dagger, but, well, who needs it when you have the haste? He gets fingered, though, on the pullback. They will get the kill, but they trade their Bat Rider for a Zeus.
He's going to get sniped.
Snipe, following this one up. AUI, not too close to dying there with the magic stick.
Yeah, and the miscall from the Abaddon as well, keeping him healthy.
Yeah, like good defensive play here by EG, but once again, WinteR, they're dropping very low. A super looks for an assassinate mid soon. I believe it's going to cool down in just a few seconds here. PPD got to shield up and sit back. Yeah, you got to be careful against that assassinate. Does have the stick charges, which he will pop now.
You know, since Vici is ahead, I wonder if they're actually going to prioritize getting a mech on Black since he's been farming so well. Hasn't been disrupted so far. Get that mech and just join the fight. And have that superior advantage over EG. I'm not even sure if they can actually get a mech of their own. Universe doesn't seem like he's going to build the mech. He
looks like an Orchid Rush even with this early rope of the Magi.
He's going to build a Orchid, so no one would have an early mech unless PPD wants to go for it. Which I don't think he can get it even in another 10 minutes. I'm not very sure.
If PPD gets a mech, it's because everything else is going so well for EG that they might not even need the mech anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those games. He's just going to look to get his level 6 here. Very important against the Assassinate. Otherwise, he tries to walk in to help a teammate and just ends up dying almost instantaneously. And it will be a Vanguard now completed for a Bristleback coming in. This will be a nice tank item for him. Very good against the summons. Honestly, a game where you could make an argument for a Pipe or a Crimson Guard on the Bristleback. Mass summons as well as mass magic damage.
Crimson Guard probably not so much, but the Pipe, yes. I think you don't really need the Crimson Guard so badly, but the Pipe against the Zeus and the Lion will be definitely what the team needs if they want to finish or go push an objective early on. Pipe will definitely be very useful.
For now, they're looking for the Ice Blink Dagger. After a very hot early game, we settled down a bit, and until they get this Ice Blink, barring a really nice rune, they're not that good at setting up kills around the map. Fairly risky for the Surfshaker Skyrath to go diving towers.
Yeah, if you take a look at the goal graph, they are currently 1.5k goal ahead for Vici, but it doesn't feel that that's the only lead they have. And here we go, top lane. PPD doesn't have his ultimate yet. Gonna go down to that gank from the 3 heroes of VG.
You know, you could see just how badly he wants the level 6. It totally changes the way the game develops for an Abaddon, but they get that one extra kill before he hits it. And, well, you're going to use this push top as an opportunity to go Roche. Yeah, Lycan now sneaking into the pit with Fear. But I think they saw it. Rotation coming in. Fear could get caught out here. Ice in position, but he's fairly squishy. It's going to be up to the sniper. That's a that's a fat Lycan. I don't know if they want to fight this one. He thinks about coming in. He sees opportunity. He's got his Zeus backing him up. Bolt's going to come out. Doesn't actually hit anyone, but the double damage Lycan chews its way into Super. Just needs 1 or 2 more auto attacks to finish him off. Gets the one. Gonna back on out of here as Universe joins the fray. The +1 advantage making the difference. Can't get the kill. Sprout Vision out of range to actually auto attack that last time. They even finger Black to force him back. He's got a salve here. FY having already used his fissure. Not much else he can offer in this engagement. EG, a timely double damage rune as maybe Black gets the counter kill. He's now going to go on to Universe. There is an Impale. There's a stick charge on the line. Might even have the Hex as well. And I think with that, EG going to be forced back. So they don't take the Roche, but they do get that kill on the Sniper, slowing him down even further.
Yeah, good sense from VG realizing that the Lycan had a DD from the rune before, and they were suspecting that once he's off the map, that he might actually go for Roche. Even though he was smoked, he ran past the bot vision, but Ice and FI there, they knew something was up.
We saw this in the Vici versus Secret match, where they walked into Roche pit and instantly Vici were rotated. I think they even hid in the back of the pit, and there was and they had I think it was an Ember Spirit Remnant in the pit, but still ended up finding them anyway. So they're just they're very vigilant about scouting for that Roshan, and to be fair, it's hard to go Roche against this team. You have Shrapnel, you have Batrider Firefly, very good Roshan control. Not to mention Fissure, which can totally screw over EG around the pit.
Yeah, and Bat just got his Blink Dagger, got him out of sticky situation. Aoi was trying to come in from the back. Got his blinked out, and gonna look for the first gank with his Blink Dagger right now. But it's gonna be spotted out by EG already with the ward there. They know he has a blink.
It's a little unusual not to see a smoke right away when you see the blink picked up. It's generally what we see. You'll get your blink, you'll buy a smoke, and you immediately go for a play with it. But for now, Vici will end up unwittingly showing it. Top room, we have a little skirmish here potentially, as FY and PPD, the least threatening skirmish you'll ever see, are gonna butt heads and then back on out.
By the way, he's not going for Orchid, he's going for Blade Mail.
Blade Mail Rush. Good versus the Skyrath Sniper, taking quite a bit of damage here, it looks like. Will be forced back by that Zeus. Has to be careful. The Zeus ult even coming out. They're worried about where the Batrider is, and they end up getting the kill on the sniper, who was first bolted in the top lane. Then they follow up with the Zeus ult and finish him off with the Prophet ulti.
The global sniping power, Zeus and Prophet.
Yeah, something we'll have to be vigilant about as this game moves along. Ice, ice, ice. Now going to grab a double damage rune, and I'll move into this Radiant jungle. But so far, the Blink Dagger hasn't gotten much done. EG keeping up the farm. In fact, Fear, your leader in terms of farm, despite heavy early pressure. Here comes Ice, 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 looking to set up bottom lane. Can they get the jump on the Lion here? AUI 2000 hiding behind the tower.
He's very, very safe. He's very worried about the Batrider because top lane Bat is not there. Middle lane, there's no heroes there. Bottom lane seems like the most dangerous, and the ward is going to see the 2 supports on VG lurking around, so something must be up at the bottom lane for EG.
These wards have been fantastic for them, WinteR. Giving them crucial information, and it's not just that they avoid the ganks. It allows Fear to split push more. He's on the top lane, Wolves applying pressure to the tower, while meanwhile he farms the camp, and just getting a lot off the map. They're starting to really spread Vici Gaming apart, who, end of the day, are not particularly good at D-pushing. They have the Batrider, Sniper, Earthshaker who can clear waves, but they're just not as mobile as EG.
They have very good catch with the Batrider, Earthshaker, and very good 5-man.
But they're just not as mobile, aside from the Bat.
Yeah, not very mobile against the Lycan. Lycan's going to take the tier 1 at top even faster than Vici's going to take the tier 1 at bottom for them.
I really like the way they're using this Zeus as well as Lycan combo, because occasionally we'll see Sumail just throw out the ulti. They get vision, they have the good wards as well, and it allows them the Lycan to play more aggressively on the split push, even if he's not getting kills. Tower going to go down mid. Black will rotate in and impales off the mark, though. That may cost AUI. They're going to try to Aphotic Shield, but they can't, because FY is ready with the fissure. Now the chase on by Black. Zeus ulti coming out. Black trying to isolate and control this Abaddon, who's pursued to the north, but Fear is split pushing. Still getting something out of this time on the top lane. Looks like PPD may go down here continuously. The Zeus nukes pound in. They get the kill. Black going to stick up, and again the fissure, trapping Universe in an awkward position. He'll fall as well. Lycan now swinging around. He sees some low HP heroes. He's going to morph. And who does he go for first? He howls. He's going to try to cut off these backliners as they retreat. FY has an Echo Slam. Will he find the opening? He starts with the dunk, the enchant totem. They're going to turn this one on the old man. He will end up going down to super. Still surviving his Fenrir Zeus ult. My kingdom for it. Too bad it's already been used. Oh my. They would like the second Zeus ult right about now, WinteR.
He's going to build an U Scepter after 4 stuff, so no double Zeus out anytime soon.
Really heads up play there by Vici Gaming. Not trying to run from the Lycan. They know that they can't escape, but they drop the Echo Slam, follow up with the Enchant Totem, and it just shows you the damage output of the Sniper. If he's not the one being focused, even this early, he can lay into the Lycan, despite the Vlads.
You talk about damage output, like both of the teams have super strong damage output in terms of spell damage.
Yeah, whoever has that little bit extra left in the tank, it seems, will be coming out on top in these fights. EG swinging towards the Roshan pit. Does Vici look to deny this to the Lycan? This is big. Something that you look for when you pick the Lycan Prophet. Maybe not a guarantee. Uh-oh. Oh, no. FY, he looks for the fissure now. Mystic Flare going to set this one up, but Fear able to retreat thanks to that Abaddon. Not able to silence and prevent that shield. Although, to be honest, that hero a bit too tanky to bring down. They'll need more damage if they want to go for that kill.
You know, all the cores on VG will need the blacking bar very badly against the Zeus and the Lion. Like before the Sniper has BKB, I think he's just going to melt in the fights with the Zeus nukes and the Prophet ultimate. He needs that so badly. You rarely see a sniper game where you feel like, oh, he needs a BKB as soon as possible. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to fight.
The thing is, you normally rely on positioning, but positioning doesn't help against Zeus, against Prophet. You have to get the BKB.
You can't run from heaven.
It's for sure. And the Lycan as well. I mean, they have good lockdown for him, but if, let's say, the fissure's already been used and the lasso's been used, that means the Sniper's going to be in a bit of danger and can easily be caught out. So this just ensures that there won't be that follow-up stun if the Lycan gets on top of him from a Blink Impale, which I believe AUI 2000 has nearly completed the Blink, if not already. Yeah, he's got it. Just secured it recently. They're going to look for this push mid. Tower being sieged. And EG on the split push, not wanting to fight into the Vici Gaming Aegis. They'll take the tower. And now, WinteR, my question is, what's next for Vici Gaming? They've had a good start here. They deny the Roche to EG. They haven't fully shut down this EG draft by any stage. It's an even game so far. And they're not the best lineup at ending the game early. Vici Gaming, good at fighting, not that good at pushing. So what is the next step for them?
I would say securing the BKBs before they try and make a move. And in the meantime, just try to get a pick-off or two with the Bat Rider and the Earthshaker. Like this game, like you mentioned, they don't really have quick pushing lineup, but top lane, Vici, gonna run into the jungle. They're gonna spot out the captain of EG here, PPD with the Abaddon. They're gonna force him out of the jungle, but I think they realized that he wants to try and get a ward there. And he didn't actually got the ward, but they already
He's coming right back, but they have a ward already.
They placed a sentry further into their jungle, actually suspecting there was a sentry further in. That
Well, they did see this ward dropped if they were watching the map, so they may be able to de-ward it fairly soon. But in the meantime, this allows AUI 2000 to get more aggressive, and remember, this is not a one-man ganking army. This is 3 heroes coming top. Too bad he doesn't realize that they have the vision. They've seen him, but so too has the backstab onto AUI been seen. But Fissure's going to find him before he can blink on out of here. Oh, he saw Black swinging around. He didn't see Fenrir and FY coming from the trees, and that will end up spelling his doom. Now it looks like they will de-ward EG, I imagine, rotating it with their supports.
Earthshaker is fairly close to his blink too.
No sentry.
Oh,
they actually missed on the sentry. Okay, never mind. They won't de-ward EG in the end.
Bat Rider got a lasso off, but Abaddon was just there to help Sumail out. So not gonna be too helpful with that lasso. Looking at the other heroes though, Sniper still not very... Oh, he actually has a hammer. So only needs an extra 300 before he gets his BKB, which would be really good for him for the next fight.
Looking at some other big item pickups, FY, up against a lot of summons this game, he's very close to a Blink Dagger. And it gives them another crucial team fight initiator, someone who can change the tides of the fight.
Well, the Blink would actually be not so reliable sometimes with the Zeus ultimate and the Prophet ultimate.
That's true. But a very good counter-initiating spell. Something he can just sit back with, lead with the fissure, wait until those ults come out, and then look to engage.
I think something interesting that he could do as the supports this game is like constantly have a smoke with you, and before a fight just smoke up yourself, so you're actually not going to be worried about the Zeus ultimate and the Prophet ultimate. Something that he can actually do if he
Obviously you can't do it every fight. It's something you'll have to do only occasionally, but
yeah, not very,
it could be
not very reliable, but
it could be game-changing, though. Especially if, let's say, EG get a lead, they're trying to siege high ground. Just to ensure your blink does not get cancelled, as you mentioned. I have to say right now, though, WinteR, just look at the vision for Vici Gaming. They have much better ward coverage around the map. Aggressive wards defending their own jungle, one near the Roshan pit. EG, they're going to have to rely on the Wolves here to do a bit of scouting, and the Treants. But outside of that, they've got little going their way.
Oh no, they see Fenrir. He's there.
Boy, Gapale got to start, but Fissure's there from FY. It catches on 3. They still manage to bring him down. Finger, not enough to finish FY off. He'll end up retreating still, though. Falls in the end. The super will be chased out. These supports just getting blown up by that big global combination.
Yeah, this was the reason why I was thinking that maybe they would prioritize getting a Bristleback mech or a pipe, either one of those, but he didn't even get one of those. He actually went for SMY and just a casual cloak. So the supports are extremely vulnerable to the double ultimates of EG. And you have to wonder at some point in the game when the Zeus gets refresher or the Prophet, even the Prophet gets refresher, the supports are just going to die. They're not going to do anything without a mech or pipe on their team.
And it's only going to get worse because it looks like Universe is building back into an Orchid after picking up that Blade Mail. So he can go around just completely shutting down the Earthshaker, and to make matters worse, they have the Zeus ult to give them the vision. So the game gets very hard for FY from here.
I wouldn't even be surprised if somewhere down the road he changes his mind and goes for a Force Staff instead of a Blink. That's a Sprout they have to be worried about too. So Force Staff could be nice for him.
A little bit of economic harassment here from Vici Gaming. They're going to try to take over this EG Woods with Ice Ice Ice. He also dropped down a ward. Something EG did not quite see, though they might suspect he was up to something, as PPD is going to swing around. So far, EG hanging tight here in terms of farm. In fact, I believe, looks like they're almost leading in terms of their cores. Their supports, of course, you've got PPD, who's extremely poor on that Abaddon.
Yeah, Fear is doing very well considering the start that he had. He has 10k net worth right now, just slightly behind Black. But Black doesn't have BKB yet, so I don't think he can fight as well as he would like to.
And who's really going to do more in the fights? Like, Bristleback can't really go on the Abaddon because he's got the ultimate. The Zeus is going to just be sitting back for the most part. And the Prophet and Lycan can just kind of run circles around him. Can be very scary if EG start to lose the fight and have to run.
Yeah,
But
it's
the Lycan, the hero that's more reliably able to close the gap on these supports and just pick them off.
yeah, like Lycan plus the global presence of the Zeus and the Prophet, it's gonna be very, very good versus.
Oh, there's a
hero like
rotation.
Sniper.
Ice was spotted out, I believe, by this Radiant Observer Ward. They blink in, looking for him, but the illusions manage to confuse AUI 2000. He still gets off the Hex. This could be very bad. They look for the finger. Oh, it's still cooling down. They can't get off the Zeus ulti, as well as the Prophet will kill off that Bat. And with that, initiation's over, folks. Time to TP the hell away. They Yules up one, trying to bring down FY as well. It'll be Fenrir who falls too. A 2-for-1 with the Prophet buyback. And now the question becomes, can EG take an objective off of this? There's no buyback on Bat. Not that he's likely to use it at this point. But 30 seconds on the sidelines for him. It seems EG might even take a tier 2 top as they continue to claw their way back into this game.
They even got Boots of Travel on Sumail, so they have so much mobility and global presence they can bots onto the Lycan Wolves. The Prophet can TP in, so technically 2 heroes can appear out of nowhere with the Wolves. This is getting scary for Vici when they have to go up against a lineup like this. No one is safe on the map. The Courier.
Radiant Courier gonna end up getting picked off here. Didn't have anything on it.
I don't think pick off was even the right word.
Just fed to the tier 2 top.
He's suicided to the top.
Alright, fed to the tier 2 top. That's a bit unfortunate. Well, EG gifting a freebie here to Vici Gaming, it seems.
They see PPD with the ward there. Are they gonna lasso and put him on a cliff?
Lasso's there, and they don't pull him all the way up. They just kind of let his borrowed time get popped. Flame Break is available. This is going to heal him up further. They'll get a freebie, but a second freebie, I guess it should be said, but it's a support Abaddon. Not the biggest deal for EG.
Bristleback finally finishes the BKB, and they're gonna pot top with the Bristol to defend the tower.
Well, Lycan's gonna run away. No, he's gonna run in. He wants to work on the tower, pops the Necrobook, and with Black being Mono Burn, he's not able to do too much here. Can he get? He does get the tower denied, but still the tower falling. Now the chase onwards from AUI 2000. They're bringing in the Earthshaker. Does he manage to bail Black out? Zeus ulti coming forth, a lot of magic damage, but the fissure, BKB only now just popped by Black very late into the fight, but ends up getting the kill as FY surges in. He's got an Echo Slam. He throws out the dunk. The Yules from the Zeus actually helping to keep him alive a little bit longer. Assassinate on the chase. Now Fenrir with the silence as Sumail turns to fight. He's miscalculated. He'll end up going down. Fear will as well. It's 4 dead. They don't even get the bristle.
I think they realized they couldn't escape already, so they just tried to turn back and fight. Hopefully they can actually get a couple of kills before they die. But
both teams are very good at chasing. You've Assassinate, Bat Rider, Bristleback, all great chasers. Earthshaker, good at it as well. And then you've got the Lycan Prophet Zeus. You really can't run from either team very easily.
yeah, they definitely could have not escaped from that situation. So in the end of the day, they lost all their heroes. They got the tower denied by the Bristleback.
And what do you know, Winter? Roshan has just respawned. Very fortuitous timing here for Vici Gaming.
Yeah, they would be very happy to give the Aegis to... I'm not sure if they want to give it to Black again, because it seems like he's not gonna die. Maybe giving the sniper the Aegis would be something they would want to consider as well. He's really hard to get focused on though, but still they're gonna give Black the Aegis. Sniper sitting far back feels that he's not gonna be in any danger, so not gonna be needing that Aegis.
They're gonna group up mid now, as Universe still works towards his Orchid. He's been slowed down quite a bit this game on that Nature's Prophet. This is not the explosive Nature's Prophet we saw from Bone 7 yesterday. He's been pressured a lot more early, had to come to more fights, gotten less out of them, and as a result, he may struggle to get active in these upcoming engagements. With the Aegis now in Black, the BKB's out, Vici Gaming's team fight gets a whole lot more fearsome.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much the Orchid will do at this point. PPD gonna get caught out here with the Fissure.
They're going to look to chase him down. With the Mask of Madness Assassinate, is it timed right with the borrowed time? It's going to connect right as it ends. Perfectly timed by Super. He'll now look to clear up this Necrobook, but if he kills it, it might actually almost kill him with that Mask of Madness on, because he's got to be worried about the Zeus ult, the Prophet ult. Meanwhile, mid lane, Black, he's busy sieging all by his lonesome. And this is where EG, they may summon their inner rat. They look to split push with the Universe, as well as Fear in the bottom lane. not really wanting to contest this Aegis. But Ice, he's the exterminator. He'll look to punish it here. Has the lasso. Doesn't have backup top lane, and he did see this rotation from AUI's line thanks to that observer ward just north of the river. But the siege comes out from Vici Gaming now. They'll begin to lay into this tier 2 mid. No defense from EG, no clear trades for them. Just sacrificing ground, hanging on. Waiting for that Russian winter to kick in. Sumail now. Uh-oh, Yule Scepter gonna set this one up. This could be bad for him. FY on the chase. Does he actually go high ground? Black does, but his team's not on the same page. He'll nearly die here. Be forced back. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Ice. Going in. Echo Slam's ready. They'll drop it, but Fear tanks through it. The Fissure followed. Can they get the kill in time? He's Flame Break back. He's almost dead. One more auto attack. He worms his way into the tree line, but Ice with the tower auto attack out of side will end up getting the kill. Now, they're going to try to turn on FY's Earthshaker. Another death for him. But he's making things happen here, shutting down that Lycan split push. They even defend the tower. They actually managed to Flame Break Universe, I believe, preventing the rotation out. And now, Sprouting, TP available, but Assassinate. Oh, just a bit late. Does that actually... does that follow him back to the well?
I don't think so. Should be disjointing. He's not gonna die anyway. Okay. He has way too much HP.
That would be pretty amazing if it did. Uh-oh. Radiant Courier was spotted here, but actually Vici not really the type of lineup to be able to snipe it. But they might be able to in the future. Something to keep an eye on is maybe they kill that courier when it's delivering a crucial item for one of these heroes.
They don't really have anyone having 4 staff on Vici's side, so the Sprout could be something that becomes really useful in the team fights. No one can actually escape from it. No Quelling Blade, no 4 staff.
Tower gonna drop here. Black lane into it. And they're looking for their 3rd BKB winter. We've talked about how good EG are at canceling the Earthshaker's blink, but once this Batrider gets his own, blink dagger, he will have an unstoppable initiation as long as he pops it in time. They really have no way to deal with that outside of maybe the Wolves giving him a little peck.
Once Vici have like the triple BKB on the other across top lane, are we gonna get caught up once more? We've seen this story.
It's that same ward, I believe, that gave them an idea of where he was.
No, he actually was farming the lane. He was just trying to split push.
Just Cloud9 things.
Yeah.
You might take AOI out of Cloud9, but you can't take the Cloud9 out of him. Something we've seen many times from him before on the old team.
Another freebie there for Vici. Getting that extra gold and experience in their pocket. But at this point of the game, they have their triple BKB on all their cores. EG has 1 BKB on the Lycan. But still, it feels like Vici are going to be much stronger with the triple BKBs, negating majority of the spell damage coming out from EG. FY going to be hiding here in the trees. The ward vision from VG on the top lane is very good. They have 3 observer wards spotting all the movement along the lanes.
They've had really good wards all game, to be honest. They've had the great ward in the jungle. We saw the wards near Roshan earlier. It's been EG who struggle to even get out on the map and place any. All their wards very defensive right now. FY was maybe looking for a courier snipe. He saw it coming, but couldn't find that opening.
Zeus almost has the refresher. He has the perseverance and Oblivion stuff. 1.2k gold, another 500 gold will be suffice for the refresher up.
It comes down to the BKB timing. Do they get it off at the right time? Does he wait them out? Does he die before he can pop the
You
ulti?
talk about the BKB timing. I'm just worried about the Earthshaker and Skyroth getting blown out from the start without being able to do anything.
Well, maybe we'll see the smoke plays.
Do they even have one in the base? No, it's cooling down. They don't have anything to help them.
1 minute. 1 minute, 20 seconds. Yeah. Not something you really want to waste just on the off chance Zeus decides to ult, though. It's a precious resource to just be throwing away like that. And there's no guarantee EG will take a fight anytime soon.
Refresher is done.
That is a farm Zeus. Considering the way the game began as well, very impressive that the young kid has managed to keep himself up in terms of the farm department. And he's up against a very good ganking lineup as well. Sumail showing good just perseverance under pressure. Vici Gaming now. Still, end of the day, it's something we talked about very early in the game, WinteR, is even if they're ahead, they're not that good at ending the game. And because of that, EG still hold a tier 2. Imagine if like Vici Gaming have the Lycan in this game. They may have threatened high ground by now, but unable to really convert their lead into a convincing advantage. They have the map control to some extent, but they know how tenuous their hold is. One bad team fight against the Refresher Zeus, and they may lose 3-4 heroes and even potentially lane of Rax.
It's not even only the Zeus, they have Prophet and Lycan, which can actually move into pushing mode very quickly. So you lose a fight, you are more or less gonna lose one side of your base if it's team wide. So they have to be very careful how they approach the game. The Skyraf has a lot of HP at the moment. He itemized where he has a Earn and strength power trait, so he actually won't die from the double Zeus ultimate, but if he takes too much damage from the bounce from the Prophet, he might actually just die before doing anything. So
there's going to be a smoke here, but that Radiant Ward saw it coming. Well placed by FY. They've seen a lot of these EG movements. The Lion top lane, we saw some near the Roshan pit earlier. All of them scouted out, and they're setting a trap. But the Wolves are going to see Vici Gaming here. Do they look to go? Uh-oh, here we go. Blake Lasso to start it off. BKB already popped by Ice as they work on Fear, but he's fairly tanky through this. He's actually going to go on to Super. They're bringing in Universe as well. Fear surviving through it all. He'll get the kill. The Lion, the only trade thus far, and now they're into the backlines. Fenrir going to drop a double kill for Sumail. EG just running over Vici Gaming in this clash. Now Black on the way out. Not going to be an easy follow-up kill with the Lion dead.
They just have much better...
They saw it coming, too. Vici Gaming just thought... They flat out thought they could kill Vici in time with the lasso, but they didn't even dent the Lycan's armor.
Even if they saw it, but the Wolves also... Like, EG also scouted Vici at the same time, so... I'm not sure though. The Lycan was just there.
But you're up against the Lycan. You know he's going to be scouting ahead with his wolves.
Yeah, probably just they were just too confident that they had the high ground. They were in a better position. They felt that they could actually take the fight. But the BKB from Lycan just made sure that the lasso did nothing. The Zeus ultimate gave them vision, and they were just able to proceed with a lot more information on where the position of each Vici hero, and were just able to win the fight off of that.
Well, and good news, Black is farming, albeit on a bristleback. He's got a basher now.
They're gonna catch PPD here, but it's just a very minor kill for them.
It's the nice thing about playing these 6 position supports is even if you die here or there, not the biggest loss.
Yeah, but you talk about Black being farmed, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like he's going to be able to single-handedly do a lot in the fights. There's so many things to go up against him. The Sprout would come in... I think the Sprout would be very handy against the Bristleback this game, since they don't have a 4-staff. He's in a position where he can't actually keep a Quelling Blade anymore.
He's already at that point.
Yeah, I think the Sprout could actually be something that ruins the Bristleback's day in the fight.
Yeah, it's what we talked about with EG. They just have more mobility than this Bristleback. They can kind of bypass him and go for the back lines.
Just look at the Bat Rider. Even after purchasing the BKB, he goes back for the hood, realizing that... I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if he's the one that actually completes the pipe for the team. It's just too much spell damage. They need somehow to actually protect both the supports on the BG side.
Black going to be irritated by this Necro Book from Fear. The old man depleting his mana pool rather rapidly. Angrily, Black will kill off one Necro creep. But that's about all he gets.
Yeah, we talk about VG having much better late game, but at this point, even though EG have one... Technically, they have one carry. Prophet counts more as a utility at this point.
I don't know. I'm not sure if they even have better late game.
Yeah, because the way the game is progressing, like they have better map control, better team fight, because they have the global presence from the Prophet and the Zeus, rendering the 2 supports on VG's side useless. I don't know, man. It feels they have better control in the team fight, even though VG have more damage with the supports from Earthshaker and Skyraf. But EG
their damage is much harder to get out. Like, it's much harder for them to output their damage than EG.
I think that's a very good way of putting it there. It's much more difficult for them to get the damage done, rather because EG are just going to be able to disable the Blitz from the Earthshaker with the Zeus Zap or the Prophet ultimate. It will be really interesting to see that actually Vici decides to just keep the smoke just to make sure that 2 supports...
WinteR, it's not going to be just a pipe. They've gotten a second hood now on the Earthshaker. Double hood for Vici. Maybe this is the solution. They already have the AC to mitigate some of the physical damage. They get a pipe, 2-3 hoods out. They're going to become much more difficult to bring down. They're searching for answers now.
He's still not going to be able to blink though, even if he doesn't die.
But maybe he lives long enough to... at this point, the Lycan's BKB is probably close to a 5-second duration. Maybe he gets off that big Echo Slam.
Actually, it's 9.
Is it still really?
Yeah, it's 9.
He's had it for ages. Never had to use it, I guess. At some point it will be down. They're going to chase now, though. They're catching out the Earthshaker here, perhaps. The Fear on the hunt. He's not going to pop the ulti, though. As they will BKB lasso initiate onto AOI 2000, but that shield, so irritating. Now the Flame Break pushing PPD back a bit. One Zeus ulti already used. He refreshed for the second, but Black is pursuing. They're going to fissure, but it's after. Oh, they get the bash off on Fear. Still he chases the other way. He's just going to ignore the Bristleback. Hunt these backliners onto Ice. He's your gem carrier as well. He's going to go down quickly. Gem hitting the deck. The Sprout coming out as well. They get 3 heroes off the back, but Black is still at full HP. Maybe he can win the fight. He'll bring down 3. He's going to look for AOI 2000. Can he blink out in time? Assassinate going to prevent it. Goo and Quills might keep it disabled, and they'll maul him down. 4 dead. Vici Gaming just outlasting EG here.
Oh,
well, you ignore the Bristle, but then the Lycan ult wears off.
Yeah,
and then you've used your combo, and then he's still at full HP.
Yeah, from the start of the fight, it didn't go well for Vici, but like you mentioned, with the BKBs on the course, they were able to just take note. They didn't take damage from the Zeus. That was the huge thing. So they were able to just run into the fight, deal damage, and Lycan, like you mentioned, after his BKB wore off, just couldn't fight. This is really back and forth. We see one fight ago, EG totally dominating, and the next fight, Vici taking the fight with Roshan in their pocket as well, as a price of that.
Well, EG finally going to complete the AC on Fear to match the Bristlebacks, but Black has gotten... We talked about him getting kited. Now he has a solution for it. He gets the Abyssal Blade, and frequently we've seen him next to the Lycan. It's just the Lycan runs away after that, but with this Abyssal Blade, might not be so easy to escape.
They still have the Aphotic Shield from PPD to actually remove that, so I mean, he needs to be in position to remove the lasso, remove the Abyssal Blade. Ultimately, it would become he has too many stuff to do, too much to handle.
Can't Aphotic everyone. You're going to have to maybe protect an ally who gets fissured, an ally who gets Abyssal, lassoed. Lasso probably the first one you want to worry about, but
I guess at the end of the day, if you're PPD, you just want to focus on protecting Fear. Fear is the guy that you want to make sure that he doesn't die off the bat, keep him alive, and he's the major source of physical damage for them when the BKB on Vici are all up.
I see what you did there. Off the bat. Well played, good sir. Well played. Vici Gaming. They're smoked up. They're on the prowl, and if you look at the map for EG in terms of vision, they actually have treants moving around. Universe has done a really good job of scouting the Styre Woods. They have one hero, the Abaddon, who's out on the map towards the bottom lane. Wolves pushing in mid. The Radiant team actually has quite decent vision considering that their wards are very lacking. And speaking of wards, PPD, I mean, he may die 2 or 3 times going bottom lane, but getting that ward up the one time, it's worth the deaths.
They know he actually plays that ward.
They know in this case, unfortunately, but he's just got to go for those risks. Without the wards, they just can't get out of the base. The siege commences, and EG are not really split pushing. The Prophet's all farming the jungle. Universe not applying any pressure to the lanes right now.
The Lycan is at home, so Vici,
they're going to have to defend. They're too late if they want to split push, it looks like.
Vici wants this to happen when they are pushing. No split push for EG, and with the Aegis on Super, they just want to take this fight.
Vici Gaming now breaking through the tower. They get the lasso initiation onto PPD. Can't shield it off if you're the one he targets, but BKB is coming out now as Black charges in. They'll get onto Sumail. They insta-gib him thanks to that Abyssal Blade. He used the one ulti, but where's the follow-up damage? He doesn't have buyback. They could sure use that second ult now. 3 dead. Everybody low. Fear coming through the backlines, but Black, the one hero who survives healthily, and they have the Aegis as well in the sniper, so both come back. No buyback on Zeus. Prophet will use it, but now the Lycan ult down. Courier coming in mid. Might actually get ambushed by the Lycanthrope. What's it carrying? Just a cheese. Special delivery. Wolves gonna get it. It's close. They want that. They want that octopus. They can't quite snag it in time. Cheese now. Oh, come on. There they get the cheese. The courier dies, but it's a noble sacrifice. 1 lane of Rex down. Vici looking for 2. Laid into the tier 3 bottom, and Fear, he'll make the long, slow trek towards the top lane, but he'll be far too late as Vici have 3 buybacks, haven't lost a lane of Rax, haven't even had to worry about the Lycan at their door. The Wolf just not able to threaten them right now.
Oh, that was a very chaotic fight. It wasn't even particularly sure who was going to win it at the end of the day, but even a buyback from Uni was not going to be able to help them to defend the middle.
Catching Sumail there was really big.
Yeah.
He did not get off the double ulti, I believe, did he? Yeah, didn't refresh her.
He didn't manage to refresh, but it was just like the vulnerability of the heroes when PPD is locked down. He can't help his team when he's the one being focused. Like he got lassoed, he got fissured, and he wasn't able to drop the F-Vortex shield on the Zeus, and he just died.
Even though the borrowed time comes out, and even though he lives for a while, it just means that they can jump the other heroes. Now the lasso onto Fear. Super laying into him. It doesn't quite have the damage to bring him down, but he forces out a BKB charge, and now that BKB will go down towards 5 seconds.
And it's gonna get really tough for him to run into the fights as like when his BKB is 5 seconds. The Earthshaker and the Bat Rider will be able to just kite him around the fights.
Even that lasso Mystic Flare, it's almost a level 3 Mystic Flare now. It's getting to that point where Vici Gaming, with 2 lanes of racks, 1.5 advantage, and BOT's up on the Bristleback, they're starting to have answers for EG's split push, as well as the ability to just push down that 3rd lane and look for the GG. Still holding on the cheese. What do EG do?
You know, they need to try and, like I mentioned before, they have the issue with starting the fight. They have Blink on Lion, but it's not that easy for him to actually find a good initiation against the Vici lineup. Everyone in front is so tanky. There's an Earthshaker, sniper attacks from far range. I mean, it always feels that Vici has the upper hand with the initiation wise, and if Peter Pandem doesn't get a good F-Vortex shield off his teammate, it's just difficult for them to take a fight.
Even if he gets it, it's not like they win that fight. It helps.
It's a very good start though if they focus everything.
They need more.
If they focus the Abyssal,
but it is a good start.
Yeah, if they focus the Abyssal on someone and he gets the shield off, it's going to be a good way for EG to start a fight off.
Well, unfortunately, WinteR, they'd love to rat with the Prophet Lycan, but they're just too slow, it seems. The Tier 2 falls top. They're very nervous about pushing down mid against the Batrider Lasso. And also, they have 0 buyback. So EG, very limited in resources, unable to take many risks here. It seems that they're going to try for a desperation backstab. There's a troll trap waiting. Ice in position here. He's going to have a BKB at the ready. They're morphing up the Lycan. They're powering up, ready to engage. Zeus ult #1 will come out. And the lasso, Ice is just looking for PPD. He's going to pull him away from the fight. But Lycan doing decent damage here. Gets onto the backlines. FY, the one that Universe tries to focus. Fissure comes out now, though. Universe being controlled. He looks for the 2-hero echo. He's going to barely clip PPD with it on the retreat out. Black, though, being controlled for now. He's out of mana. He's still healthy. They've used their Zeus ultis. They've used their Prophet ulti, and they don't have the buyback on the Prophet. PPD, TP out attempted. Fissure will cancel that. They're going to lose the Abaddon as well. And EG run out of resources now. They get that kill. Cheese going to be pop, bringing the Bristleback back to full HP. Here comes your high ground siege. It's 4 on 3. No split push. No rat. EG have to fight head on. The Lycan ult's still cooling down, and by the time it's up, they'll have lost the 3rd lane of Rex. They're actually going to just GG out. Vici Gaming, they've gotten the best of EG in most of their matchups historically, having taken 2 out of 3 finals against them, dating back, or major tournament matches, I should say. TI4, WEC, ESL New York. The only match that EG won was that ESL match, or that WEC match, but here once again, Vici Gaming off to the hot start. They lead 1-0. They need one more to take the series.
It's a very interesting game, very interesting lineup from both teams. A lot of physical damage, a lot of spell damage as well. But at the end of the day, Vici having the superior control, having 2 damage cores in the Sniper and the Bristleback, late game wise, they just had the better of EG after that. The Zeus ultimate and the Prophet ultimate just fell off in the end of the day, so
well,
it was just not gonna work out as the game gets longer.
It felt like a really even draft from both teams. It seemed primarily came down to just execution here, more than anything.
Yeah, but it's difficult for EG to initiate into the fights, and the last fight, Batrider knew that he just needed to remove the Abaddon. He got stuck at the cliff, he had a force up, but he couldn't come back into the fight, wasn't particularly useful, couldn't protect the heroes that he needed to F-Vortex shield, and basically the Bat already did his job after that.
But we can't forget how this game started. It starts with a massive advantage for Vici Gaming. Winning all 3 lanes, getting multiple kills on the Zeus, has to walk back to base to TP in, was denied runes repeatedly. This was a terrible start for EG, and because of it, made it difficult to have a chance. Still, an admirable performance from them. This is only game 1. EG not out of it yet. It's your winner bracket finals for the Dota 2 Asia Championships. And for more analysis, we're going to hand it over to the panel now. Guys, how can EG bounce back?
Welcome back to the panel. Shannon, you're right. Game 1 going Vici Gaming's way. So far, prediction holds true.
Yep. Black has got ridiculously farmed on that Bristleback. That's a 1 roll. That's you don't get to see that very often. I think it's a fun hero to watch.
It was, and it's a hero that kind of looked like it was going to get kited around too much. They didn't even have the Force Staffs to help out the Sprout, but we never really saw the Sprout. You're kind of mentioning the Nature's Prophet Sind. Didn't seem to quite have the impact maybe EG wanted.
I think the ultimate combo was really powerful between the Prophet and the Zeus, but that is only level dependent. The question is if he invested his gold into the right items. So he goes for the Blade Mail, which is an item that I see a lot on Prophet, and I get the idea, and it's a really high stakes match, so Universe obviously gets it for a reason, but it's an item you need to consider falls off really fast against this Vici Gaming lineup that goes triple BKB. And they will be getting BKB anyway, so kind of I want to say around the time he picks up the Blade Mail, it's effective for like, say, 5 minutes. And that's during that time they need to get so much work done. And then afterwards it's just fallen off. Orchid, same story. He's fighting into BKBs. I think maybe the Prophet could have itemized better. In addition to that, they didn't get enough out of their Abaddon, I would say. But I think that was just more of a draft than a play issue. It was a really difficult game for PPD. And also the Lion. It was an odd game to watch, actually, because like the team fights would just have instantly 2 or 3 heroes die for both teams, and then you just have a Bristleback in a situation where there's absolutely no control for him, and he will run you over, sniper using the ranged disadvantage. And I just feel like I'm actually really positively surprised with how well EG's draft worked, considering how the early game panned out for them. But in the end, the supports, I think, are the downfall of their strategy together with Prophet.
It did feel a bit odd. Like, you compare that game to, like, Secret when they have the Lycan. Every time a push was coming from Vici Gaming, or whenever there was someone counter pushing, it was always, like, the Lion or the Abaddon. That's where if that was Secret, I feel like it would be Lycan pressuring a lane, or the S4 Queen of Pain, who can actually apply a lot more pressure. So they seem to have... I mean, I think they were right to maybe try and push out these lanes, but... it was just a bit odd that it was the supports doing it. Like, AUI getting caught out at the top lane, then PPD getting caught out at bottom, so...
I think they're doing it because they know that pickoffs will happen. And then they're sacrificing heroes that are level 11 or less, so they will actually respawn in time to defend. Okay. It's way less valuable kills. And I mean, at the same time, sure, they didn't put so much pressure, but Fear got really farmed because he didn't split push in that way. Because I think he would have inevitably been caught off maybe... twice, maybe 3 times by the Batrider. They tried it a couple of times. That was on his side of the map, and then he could get back up and get out. I think EG played well, honestly. It just wasn't enough. Vici Gaming, once again, for me, just one step ahead.
All right. Well, the Bristleback worked game 1. What heroes do you want to see in game 2, Shannon? What do you think?
Lina
mid, Sumail. Let's pull it out. Yep.
We saw it at D. Okay, we said D2. I wasn't that great, but that was like his first game in competitive. And by the way, we need the password. I don't know what it is.
Oh yeah.
That was his first game in the States. I think he had just moved here, actually, to the States from Pakistan.
You know, speaking of Lina, this password has the word Lina in it. Not that I should be saying the password in stream, but if someone figures out the password based on that hint, I'll be very impressed.
Oh, that...
These are the passwords from yesterday.
It also has other things in it.
Yes.
That I could tell you, but
we'll
leave that to Gods. He's really good at leaking passwords, has a history.
Try to jumble it up as much as possible, see if people can get it.
That's yesterday's passwords.
I was going to say that there's no Lina on this one.
Brian will put the password
well, that's fitting.
For you.